Hi and welcome to my review of The Goodies, the complete BBC collection. Today we're up to Scatty Safari. The Goodies open a safari park where visitors can view celebrities in the wild. But when one of their main draw cards is killed, they have to catch a new attraction for their zoo. Once in captivity, however, the Rolf Harrises breed like rabbits, and once they escape, they reach plague proportions. For me, this episode is just one long highlight, and there are so many great and fun things in it. All the celebrity send-ups they do in the safari park are really funny. There are just so many great pop culture references in this one from all the different celebrities and songs and TV shows of the day. There was one thing in this episode that did make me wince a little bit, and that is the gag where the black and white minstrels are portrayed like monkeys climbing all over the safari bus. Now, taken at face value, it does not read well to present people in blackface and presenting them as acting like monkeys. But to be fair to the Goodies, they did hate the black and white minstrels, and the black and white minstrels were white people wearing blackface makeup. So I guess it's possible that what the Goodies were trying to do here was a gag that was kind of attacking the way the black and white minstrels stereotype people of colour. I'm not really sure. But I do feel like there's just slightly more to it than what might initially meet the eye. And the other thing we must remember is that the whole joke of this episode is that it presents celebrities like animals. It presents all the celebrities as being acting like animals and being treated like animals. The Goodies treat all the celebrities in their park and zoo as less than human. I really love the Black Beauty TV show reference as Tony Blackburn is released back into the wild. We see Bill laughing again at Tim's Australian accent. Now, the giant hat that Bill wears in the Australian sequence, is it the same giant hat from Scoutrageous? Now, as a youngster, I was always kind of intrigued by this segment that was set in Australia, and particularly by the way the Australian women were presented, and that is as kind of slutty, mannish, man-hating feminists, which I don't know, I just think it's funny. I loved Graeme's puppetry with the vicious koala, and for me it kind of tied in with that idea of drop bears that made up vicious koala-like creature that Australians like to trick tourists with. This episode features Graeme calling Tim Chucky Boots, which I always loved, and I think Graeme does this a few times. Tim's voiceover in the newsreel detailing the Rolf Harrises in captivity and the birth of the baby Rolf Harris is just such a classic bit. I really, really love the way Tim does this. Graeme's charades bit is just hilarious. One thing I noticed on this viewing was that this episode actually takes place over a couple of years. I think this is quite unusual. The scenes of the feral Rolf Harrises running amok are just absolute comedy brilliance. I always love them, and they're just fantastically funny. Equally so, the Pied Piper of Hamelin parody. It's just such a brilliant touch, and it really raises this episode to another level. Something else I'd never noticed before in watching this episode: they're pink boots in the Pied Piper segment. Those pink boots are so cool. Guest stars in this episode included Dick Emery, glimpsed very briefly, Tony Blackburn in a great cameo sending himself up, Sheila Steafel as the Queen, and I know she worked with the Goodies quite a lot, David Wilmot as one of the Rolf Harrises, and I'd never realised before today that little Rolf Harris was actually played by the legendary Rusty Goffe. Now, if you're not familiar with Rusty Goffe's work, do have a look at his Wikipedia page. He has had an amazing career. He was one of the original Oompa Loompas in the original Willy Wonka film. He's worked in Star Wars, Flash Gordon, The League of Gentlemen. It just goes on and on. Amazing performer, and he's fantastic as little Rolf Harris. Scatty Safari is another absolutely top-level episode, and it's just delirious fun from start to finish. It's just full of so many great laughs. I really love how the Goodies could take their dislike of Rolf Harris, which is referenced so many times throughout the series, and turn it into something which is so crazy and so funny. For me, this is the Goodies comedy at its best and its most wildly imaginative. And I think we've all got to concede that despite whatever elements of the show have not aged so well or seem not PC today, they actually were right to despise Rolf Harris. I really, really enjoyed seeing this one again, and I hope you'll join me next time when we move on to another of my favourite ones, which is Kung Fu Capers. Season 5 is just filled with sensational episodes. I hope you'll join me then, and thank you so much for watching today. I'll see you then. Bye.